All right, so if you watched the last video, then what I said is that everything that you need to solve for resonant circuits is on the equation sheet. The first place where we have formulas that we're going to use or equations is right in here, right? If we're going to be solving for the resonant frequency, right? Resonance for these circuits is where XL equals XC. And so we may need to solve for XL or XC, and that's where we solve for them. And then down here at the bottom left is where everything else is. Series resonant circuits when we have a quality factor greater than 10. And so the resonant frequency is right here. This is the resonant frequency. And perhaps if I was given the angular frequency, or I needed the angular frequency, it's right there as omega. And that would help me solve for this without dealing with the 2 pi. But note that this is still omega equals 2 pi f that we had up in the top of our equation that we've been doing for a while with AC. Right? This is just rearranged for the resonant frequency. And if I ignore the 2 pi, then I have the angular resonant frequency. And that will come into play in some of these formulas. Right here, this is the quality factor. Note that it is not the same as Q reactive power, totally different, which is why we put this nice S on it so that you can remember. What I want to point out most importantly is right here that this X over R, this ratio that we're looking for, this is XL or XC. We said that they're going to be equal, so just pick one and plug it in there whenever we're finding the quality factor, or if we have the quality factor and we need to find what that reactance is, they're going to be the same at the resonant frequency. And then here's the bandwidth that's telling us how wide, if we're looking at this resonance graph, how wide it's still effective. And we said that if this is the max, the I max right here, that this is 0.707 of I max is where we hit the bandwidth. And the bandwidth, which makes sense if the resonant frequency is right in the middle, that the bandwidth is going to be plus or minus on either side, F1 to F2. Right? And so it's going to be plus or minus half of the bandwidth. And so it's mostly these formulas that all we need to know, unless I also needed to say that XL equals omega L, or that XC equals 1 over either 2 pi FC or omega C. If I have the resonant frequency of F, I can easily get the omega and vice versa.